Rain drizzled softly over the quiet suburban street as Officer Maria Hayes leaned against her patrol car, writing a ticket under the dull glow of a street lamp. The air smelled faintly of wet asphalt and pine. Her wipers clicked rhythmically in the background. The silver pickup truck in front of her had sputtered to a stop near the school zone, its hazard lights blinking weakly. The man behind the wheel, rugged, tired, and soaked from the rain, stood a few feet away, rubbing his neck nervously. He looked more like a construction worker than someone with bad intentions: worn jeans, a faded jacket, and hands that looked like they'd built half the town. "Sir," she said without looking up from her notepad, "you are going 40 in a 25. School zone. You realize how serious that is?" The man sighed. "Yeah, ma'am, I know. I was just in a hurry." Maria raised an eyebrow, finally glancing at him. "Everyone's in a hurry. That doesn't excuse breaking the law." He nodded, swallowing. "I wasn't trying to make excuses. I was just late picking up my little girl. She doesn't like waiting out in the rain." Maria paused for a moment, her pen hanging midair. She'd heard that line before, 100 times, maybe more. But something about the way he said it made her hesitate. No anger, no attitude. Just quiet worry. "What's your name?" she asked. "Daniel Reed." She looked at his license, confirming the name. His address was only a few streets away. "Local. And your daughter? She goes to Lincoln Elementary." "Yes, ma'am." Maria exhaled and glanced toward the small backpack sitting on the passenger seat through the open truck window. It had pink straps and a little unicorn keychain dangling from the zipper. She felt something twist inside her chest, a pang she hadn't expected. "Is your wife home with her?" she asked absently. He looked down, shaking his head. "No, it's just me and her." Her eyes flicked up. "Just you?" "Yeah," he said quietly. "Her mom passed away 3 years ago. Cancer." The rain seemed to fall heavier then, or maybe it just sounded that way. Maria's grip on the notepad loosened. She'd lost her own mother to the same thing. For a moment, she wasn't Officer Hayes. She was just Maria, a woman who remembered sleepless nights in hospital rooms that smelled of antiseptic and fear. "I'm sorry," she said softly. He nodded, his eyes cast down. "Thank you." She cleared her throat, trying to recompose herself. "Well, Mr. Reed, I still have to issue the citation. It's policy." "I understand," he said without protest. "Do what you gotta do." Maria started writing again, her mind wrestling with what her heart was saying. He wasn't some reckless driver. He was a dad trying to make it through the day. She had met dozens of men like him, but something about him, maybe his calm honesty, made her pause before handing over the ticket. "Can I ask something?" he said suddenly. She looked up. "Do you ever wonder if people like me get second chances?" Her pen froze. "Second chances?" He smiled faintly, though it didn't reach his eyes. "You know, single parents. Folks who messed up somewhere along the way but are trying to do right. Some days, I feel like the world just waits for me to fail again." Maria didn't answer immediately. She knew that feeling all too well. The weight of expectations, the way people judged without knowing. "I think," she said slowly, "the ones who keep trying, they already got their second chance. They just don't see it yet." He nodded, looking away, his eyes glistening faintly in the rain. "That's a good way to put it." Maria tore the ticket from her pad, holding it between her fingers. "Look, Daniel, I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm giving you a warning this time. Next time, slow down, especially near a school." He blinked, surprised. "You serious?" "Yeah, but only because of your daughter." He smiled for the first time, really smiled, and something about it caught her off guard. It wasn't the kind of grin that tried to charm. It was humble, grateful, and tired in a way that made her chest tighten. "Thank you, officer." "Really?" She nodded, tucking her notepad away. "Get her home safe." He opened the truck door, then paused, turning back. "You ever have kids?" Maria shook her head. "No, haven't found time, I guess." He chuckled softly. "They're a handful, but they make life mean something again." Her lips twitched into a small smile. "I'll take your word for it." As he got into the truck, Maria started to turn back toward her patrol car. But then, from the back seat, she saw a little face peek out through the rain-smeared window, a girl, maybe 6 years old, with big brown eyes and a gap-toothed grin. She waved at Maria. Maria found herself smiling back. "She's cute," she said through the window. Daniel laughed. "Yeah, she's my troublemaker. She thinks cops are superheroes." Maria chuckled. "I'll take that compliment." The little girl's voice piped up. "Daddy, can we go home now?" "Yeah, sweetheart," he said, glancing at Maria once more. "Thanks again." He started the engine, the old truck rumbling back to life. Maria stood there watching the taillights fade into the misty road. Something about the moment lingered, like an unfinished thought she couldn't shake. Later that night, Maria sat at her kitchen table with a cup of coffee, replaying the conversation in her mind. Her apartment was quiet. Too quiet, the kind of silence that felt heavy. She scrolled absently through her phone, half distracted, until a message notification popped up on her local community app. Single dad seeks babysitter for 6-year-old. Evenings only. Flexible pay. Lincoln Street. Maria stared at the post, her heart skipping. The name under it was Daniel Reed. She hesitated, finger hovering over the screen. It wasn't professional, she knew. But something made her type a short message anyway. "Hey, it's Officer Hayes, from earlier. I might know someone who can help." She hit send before she could overthink it. The reply came almost instantly. "Officer Hayes, didn't expect to hear from you. Thanks, I'm just trying to keep things together for my girl." Maria smiled faintly at the screen. "You're doing fine, Daniel. Better than you think." A few seconds passed. Then another message came. "If you weren't married, I'd say you're too kind for your own good." She blinked, then laughed softly, shaking her head. "I'm not married." There was a pause. Then maybe one day, I'll say that line again, without the ticket part." Maria leaned back, warmth spreading through her chest. It had been years since anyone had caught her off guard like that. Outside, the rain had stopped, and the clouds were thinning, letting the moonlight slip through. She didn't reply right away. Instead, she looked out the window, a faint smile curving her lips. The next morning, as she parked near the same school zone, she spotted the silver pickup again, this time moving carefully at 25, no rush, no panic. She smiled, shaking her head. And then, as if sensing her eyes, Daniel waved from the driver's seat. His daughter's little hand popped up beside him, waving just as brightly. Maria waved back before pulling away. For the first time in a long while, she felt something stir inside her, something hopeful, something she hadn't felt since before the badge, before the long nights alone. She didn't know what would come next, maybe just friendship, maybe more. But as the morning sun broke through the last of the rain, she couldn't help but think that sometimes, second chances didn't come with grand gestures. Sometimes, they came disguised as a speeding ticket in the rain, and a single dad who just wanted to pick up his little girl on time.